Hey everyone, Dr. William here, and today we're tackling a topic that's incredibly important for your long-term health: the foods that are secretly sabotaging your heart. You see, it's not always the obvious stuff. Many of the items we casually toss into our shopping carts or grab for a quick meal might seem totally harmless on the surface. But lurking within their ingredients are often hidden compounds that, over time, can silently chip away at your cardiovascular health. It's like a slow, steady drip that you don't even notice until the damage is done. And that's precisely why it's so crucial to become an informed consumer. Understanding what to look for on labels and what ingredients to minimize or avoid altogether isn't just about making better choices in the moment. It's about investing in your future. By becoming aware of these stealthy dietary threats, you empower yourself to protect your most vital organ. So let's dive deeper into uncovering these hidden dangers and arm you with the knowledge you need to keep your heart ticking strong for years to come. All right, next up on our list are processed meats. And I'm talking about those seemingly innocent staples: your crispy bacon at breakfast, that juicy sausage link, or even the sliced deli turkey you use for your lunchtime sandwich. Now, I know they're convenient and, let's be honest, pretty tasty for many of us. But here's the cold, hard truth. They are often absolute powerhouses of ingredients that your heart really doesn't love. We're looking at sky-high levels of sodium, which, as we discussed earlier, is a major player in raising your blood pressure. Then there are the unhealthy saturated fats, which contribute to that bad LDL cholesterol, gunking up your arteries. And let's not forget the nitrates and nitrites, which are added as preservatives and for color, but can form compounds that are inflammatory and potentially damaging to your blood vessels over time. So, while that quick fix might satisfy your hunger in the moment, regularly consuming these items means you're inadvertently forcing your heart to work overtime, straining its precious muscle and hardening those vital arteries. Now, let's talk about something many of us probably reach for daily without a second thought: sugary drinks. I'm looking at you sodas, those seemingly healthy fruit juices. Yes, even the ones that claim to be 100% juice are often just liquid sugar. And those super sweetened iced teas or coffee concoctions. Friends, these beverages are absolutely loaded with added sugars. And that's a huge red flag for your heart health. When you regularly consume these sugar bombs, you're not just adding empty calories. You're setting yourself up for a cascade of problems. This consistent sugar intake can lead to significant weight gain, which directly puts more strain on your heart. It fuels inflammation throughout your body, damaging blood vessels. And it can dramatically increase your triglyceride levels, which are a type of fat in your blood that, when elevated, are a major risk factor for heart disease. Honestly, for the health of your ticker, your heart much prefers good old plain water. It's the simplest, most effective, and certainly the cheapest choice you can make. All right, let's move on to number 4 on our list: deep-fried foods. I'm talking about those irresistible French fries, crispy fried chicken, and yes, even those seemingly innocent donuts. Now, I get it, they're incredibly delicious and incredibly satisfying in the moment, right? That golden brown crispness is hard to resist. But here's the crucial point. The way these foods are typically prepared is a major red flag for your heart. They are almost always cooked in unhealthy oils and, critically, at very high temperatures. This process, especially with certain types of oils, can actually create something called trans fats. And listen up, because trans fats are notorious for being one of the absolute worst kinds of fat for your cardiovascular system. They aggressively increase your bad cholesterol, what we call LDL cholesterol, while simultaneously lowering your good cholesterol, or HDL cholesterol. This double whammy is a truly dangerous combination, significantly raising your risk for heart disease. So, while that crispy texture might be tempting, the hidden cost to your heart simply isn't worth it in the long run. Moving on to our next heart health saboteur: refined grains. We're talking about things like white bread, most pastries, those seemingly innocent breakfast cereals that are often marketed as healthy, and even white rice. Now, the big issue here is that during the refining process, these grains have had their most valuable components, the beneficial fiber and crucial nutrients, stripped away. They're essentially left as a hollow shell, mostly just starch. What does this mean for your body? Well, Without that fiber to slow things down, your body processes these refined grains incredibly quickly, essentially converting them into sugar almost instantly. This rapid conversion leads to sharp blood sugar spikes, which over time contribute to chronic inflammation in your body and, yes, significant weight gain. Both inflammation and excess weight are directly linked to an increased risk of heart disease. So, while that fluffy white bread might taste good, it's delivering empty calories that put your heart under unnecessary stress. Alright, let's talk about our next hidden heart hazard: excessive salt or sodium. Now, don't get me wrong, our bodies absolutely need a small amount of sodium to function properly. But here's the problem. The vast majority of processed foods out there are absolutely packed with far too much of it. And this isn't just about making things taste good. It's often used as a preservative. So it's in nearly everything from canned soups to frozen meals and even seemingly sweet items. When you consume too much sodium, your body responds by retaining more water. And what does that do? It increases the total volume of blood circulating through your system. Think about it like this. If you're trying to push more water through the same size pipes, the pressure inside those pipes is going to go up. In your body, that means putting extra strain on your blood vessels and, ultimately, on your heart. This consistent overload is a primary driver of high blood pressure, also known as hypertension, which is a major risk factor for heart attacks, strokes, and other serious cardiovascular issues. So, start checking those labels, because salt is a silent but potent threat. Okay, let's tackle a topic that often confuses people: margarine. For a long time, margarine was marketed as the healthier alternative to butter, especially for your heart. And while some types are better, it's absolutely crucial to understand that not all margarines are created equal, and some can actually be quite harmful. The real villain here, historically, has been trans fats. You see, many older varieties of margarine, and even some still on the shelves today, were made through a process called hydrogenation. This process takes liquid vegetable oils and solidifies them, but in doing so, it creates those notorious trans fats. And as we've discussed, trans fats are incredibly detrimental. They simultaneously raise your bad LDL cholesterol and lower your good HDL cholesterol, a perfect storm for cardiovascular disease. So if you're reaching for margarine, you must check the ingredient list for partially hydrogenated oils. That's your major red flag. Instead, look for trans fat-free options, or better yet, opt for naturally healthier fats like olive oil or even a small amount of real butter, if that fits your dietary needs. Don't be fooled by the marketing. Always read those labels. Alright, let's talk about a sweetener that has truly infiltrated our food supply, often without us even realizing it: high fructose corn syrup, or HFCS. This isn't just about added sugar. HFCS is a concentrated, industrially produced sweetener that you'll find lurking in a shocking number of products. From your favorite candies and baked goods to yogurts, condiments, and even seemingly healthy snack bars. It's pervasive, and frankly, it's a major concern for your heart. The problem with HFCS, much like other excessive added sugars, is how your body processes it. Regular, high intake of this sweetener can significantly contribute to obesity, as it's easily stored as fat. It also plays a key role in developing insulin resistance, which is a precursor to type 2 diabetes and a major risk factor for heart disease. Furthermore, HFCS is particularly efficient at raising your triglyceride levels, those unhealthy fats in your blood that we talked about earlier. So, while it makes food taste deliciously sweet, the cumulative effect of HFCS on your metabolic health is undeniably detrimental to your heart. Always check those ingredient lists, because this particular sweetener is truly a silent threat. Alright team, let's clear up a common area of confusion when it comes to fats, because honestly, the messaging out there can be a bit mixed. We need to talk about the critical difference between saturated fats and unsaturated fats. This isn't just academic. Understanding this distinction is absolutely vital for protecting your heart. For years, all fats were demonized. But we now know that's not the whole story. Here's the breakdown. Saturated fats are primarily found in animal products like fatty cuts of meat, butter, cheese, and also in some tropical oils like coconut oil and palm oil. While they have a place in the diet in moderation, Excessive intake of saturated fats is known to raise your bad LDL cholesterol levels. This directly contributes to plaque buildup in your arteries, increasing your risk for heart disease. On the flip side, we have unsaturated fats, which are your heart's best friends. These are found in foods like avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil, and fatty fish. These types of fats, when consumed in moderation, actually work to improve your cholesterol profile and support overall cardiovascular health. So, the key takeaway here is not to fear all fats, but rather to significantly limit your intake of saturated fats and prioritize those beneficial unsaturated fats. Alright, this next point is absolutely crucial, and it's something I tell all my patients. Your absolute best defense against these hidden heart saboteurs is becoming a pro at reading food labels. Think of that nutrition label as your secret weapon, your personal guide to what you're really putting into your body. Because let's be honest, marketing can be incredibly deceptive, with flashy health claims that don't always tell the full story. When you pick up a packaged food item, flip it over. What are you looking for? Prioritize checking for high amounts of sodium, those sneaky added sugars, and remember, they have many different names like dextrose, maltose, or corn syrup, excessive saturated fat, and, perhaps most importantly, any mention of trans fats. Remember, trans fats can sometimes be disguised as partially hydrogenated oils in the ingredient list. That's a definite red flag. The less of these undesirable ingredients you see, the better for your heart. And a pro tip. Ingredients are always listed from the most abundant to the least, so pay extra close attention to the first few items on that list. This simple habit empowers you to make informed decisions and steer clear of the very things that are secretly poisoning your heart. Alright, let's dive into something that's often overlooked when we're trying to eat healthily, but it's absolutely critical for your heart: portion control. You see, it's not just about what you eat, it's also about how much you eat. Even foods that are genuinely healthy, think about nutrient-dense avocados, delicious nuts, or whole grains, can become a problem if consumed in excessive quantities. Why? Because ultimately, if you're consistently eating more calories than your body needs, regardless of whether they come from healthy or unhealthy sources, that leads to weight gain. And excess weight, especially around the midsection, puts significant extra stress and strain on your entire cardiovascular system. Your heart has to work harder to pump blood through a larger body, blood pressure can increase, and your risk for all sorts of heart-related issues goes up. So, beyond just choosing the right foods, cultivating mindful eating habits, and truly paying attention to appropriate portion sizes are just as important. It's a fundamental step in supporting a strong, resilient heart over the long haul. Alright, let's pivot from what to avoid to what we should be embracing. This brings us to a foundational principle for heart health: the paramount importance of whole, unprocessed foods. Think about it. Nature provides us with incredible, perfectly packaged nutrition designed to fuel our bodies optimally. When I talk about whole foods, I mean fresh fruits bursting with vitamins, vibrant vegetables in every color of a rainbow, lean proteins from sources like fish and legumes, and complex whole grains that are still in their natural state. These are the true superheroes for your cardiovascular system. Why? Because they are absolutely packed with essential nutrients, disease-fighting antioxidants, and crucial fiber. Unlike their processed counterparts, which are often stripped of these beneficial elements, whole foods work synergistically to actively support a healthy heart. They help regulate blood pressure, manage cholesterol levels, reduce inflammation, and maintain a healthy weight. All vital factors in keeping your ticker strong and resilient. So, simplify your plate. Ditch the highly processed stuff and prioritize what nature intended. Your heart will absolutely thank you for that powerful switch. Finally, let's talk about the most empowering part of this whole discussion. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. I know it can feel overwhelming to think about cutting out all these foods, but the truth is even small, consistent changes can have a monumental impact on your heart health over time. Think of it like a compounding interest for your health. Every good choice adds up. So don't feel like you need to become a perfect eater tomorrow. Start with just one thing. Maybe it's swapping out those sugary sodas for plain water, or consciously choosing a leaner protein over processed meats a few times a week. Perhaps you decide to simply check one food label more closely at the grocery store. These seemingly minor adjustments create habits. And those habits, compounded day after day, week after week, significantly contribute to building a stronger, more resilient heart for years to come. Your journey to a healthier heart is a marathon, not a sprint, and every single step forward counts.